Good morning from Cincinnati. A winless road trip so far and 9 straight road losses overall have the A's frustrated. Sonny Gray was outstanding on Friday, but a sloppy inning led to a Game 1 loss to the Reds. Yesterday, young Daniel Migden made his Major League debut and was impressive. But again, one bad pitch was the difference in the game. Today, the A's will look to Kendall Graveman to salvage a game in the series and head home with a win. Final game of the series, A's-Reds, next. It is the final game of the series, final game of the road trip on a very warm day in Cincinnati. And the pitching matchup today, it'll be the left-hander John Lamb for the Reds, and for the A's, it'll be the right-hander Kendall Graveman. Today's game presented by Hyundai. It's the A's and the Reds coming up here on CSN, California. Indeed, good morning to everybody back in the Bay Area. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball. So the A's have lost 7 straight here on this road trip. This is the final game of the trip, and Ray, it has been very difficult. The A's have lost 4 one-run games on the trip, but the offense has scored just 15 runs on the trip.
You know, Kuip, after the blowout, the first game of the road trip in Houston, I thought on Saturday when Jed Lowry hit the home run in the 9th inning to tie the game, that would propel the ball club to have a better road trip. But unfortunately, that has not happened. The offense really has not done much of anything on this whole road trip. Maybe playing in National League parks, maybe that's a little bit different. But the bottom line, you have to score runs. The pitching has been decent enough to pick up wins. But if you don't score runs, it makes it very difficult on the pitchers.
Yeah, you're right about the pitching, and we've seen good pitching from both teams in this series. We'll see what happens today with the right-hander Kendall Graveman going up against the left-hander John Lamb.
Well, the important thing about Kendall Graveman, the sinking fastball, we've talked about it often the first 2 games that he started this year, double figures in ground ball outs. And as we talked also yesterday, watching Dan Strader with his changeup, it's a pitch that Kendall Graveman wants to throw and be effective. And as far as John Lamb, the A's have not seen a lot of left-handed starting pitchers. Matter of fact, on this road trip, not a lot of lefties in general because the bullpens did not have lefties. So maybe that will help the A's today, having the right-handed lineup in there, maybe change it up a little bit because it is a different lineup. But Kendall Graveman in particular tries to throw the good sinking fastball and the changeup, get those working. He should keep the Cincinnati Reds down.
All right, so the A's indeed trying to get a win on the final game of this road trip. Up next, we will head back to the A's pregame live studios and then come back to Great American Ballpark for the A's and the Reds, Game 3 of the series. Stick around.
CSN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's back. The Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack. Taste it before it's gone at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Now, welcome back to Great American Ballpark here in Cincinnati. Final game of this 8-game trip. It'd be nice to fly home with a W, especially with the Texas Rangers coming into town tomorrow. Let's look at the game time weather for today. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. Very hot, 90 degrees, very humid. So that Midwest heat wave coming through. Hot yesterday, hot again today.
Okay, this is not good that the Reds have not taken the field, and maybe they're thinking that this team on the field is going to take on the A's. That's not funny. Now they're coming out. Okay, this is take the field with the Reds Sunday, and I was a little bit concerned at seeing all those youngsters out there and dealing with this heat. And now the big boys come out to take their positions.
So they will sign autographs for the youngsters, and then we will get set for baseball here from Cincinnati. So Coco Crisp is got the gloves on. He's ready to go. He's going to hit in the leadoff spot. Rest of the A's lineup: Crisp, Lowry, Valencia, Davis, Butler, Simeon, Fegley, Smolinski, and Graveman. So Billy Butler has always hit well in this ballpark, and he gets a chance today starting at first base.
And it would be the left-hander John Lamb. And just looking back at the beginning of this trip, the A's have faced all right-handed starters except for today. So maybe that will change their luck a little bit. Not overpowering as the left-hander, but typically, as lefties like to do, deal and throw pitches to the outside part of the plate. Good changeup, fastball low 90s, curveball, slider, and the changeup. And the A's, of course, with a predominantly right-handed hitting lineup against this left-handed pitcher for the Reds today.
Let's look at the defense behind John Lamb today. Just one change, and that's the catcher. In the outfield, it's Duvall. I take that back, 2 changes. Steve Selski gets a start in center field, and Jay Bruce in right. Suarez, Cozart, Phillips, and Votto around the infield, and Ramon Cabrera is your catcher today. So Cabrera and Selski in the lineup for the Reds. It is Military Appreciation Day here at the ballpark. The Reds do this 4 times a year, and they wear the camouflage tops and the camouflage hats with their uniform. So a nice touch by the Cincinnati Reds.
Very nice. They had the Navy band out performing the national anthem. So all good today here in Cincinnati. And it is warm, though. And I think that is, as we discussed yesterday, at a 4:10 local start time. Today, the normal 1:10 start time, which means a little bit overcast, which not the hard sunshine's bearing down right now. But if it does, it's going to be a warm afternoon for the fans.
So Lamb is ready, and so is Coco Crisp. So the A's trying to finish up what has been a very, very difficult road trip. The A's are sitting on a 7-game losing streak all on this trip. First pitch of the game to Coco Crisp is in for a strike for Lamb. So we're underway on a hot, steamy day in Cincinnati. Coco at 222. He's got 5 home runs and 22 RBI. And Coco skies one to left. Duvall in, and now he's got a backup, still going back. Ends up on the warning track, and he makes the catch. So 1 out here in the first inning, and that'll bring up another switch hitter in Jed Lowry. Umpires today: Manny Gonzalez gets to call balls and strikes. That's Fielden Culberth. He's the crew chief at second base. Short sleeves for the base umpires. It'll be a warm afternoon for Manny Gonzalez. And I'm sure umpires, just like we do, and the players do it as well, they check the forecast.
Yeah.
So Manny Gonzalez knew ahead of time that today was going to be a warm one, and he obviously knew he was going to be behind the plate.
Drew the short straw.
Yes, he did. That's right. Lowry at 294, a homer and 19 RBIs.
You know, catching in this climate, anytime you do that, you want to, especially as a catcher. Catcher has the gear on as well, like the home plate umpire. But unlike the catcher, the home plate umpire has to stay on the field the whole game. And so you try to be as nice as you can to them, because you don't want to irritate them on a day in which they're already probably very irritable considering the weather. But catcher and the home plate umpire will, now the inside chest protector, and I thought the balloon chest protector American League umpires used many, many years ago, probably it protects you, but it also kept it a little bit cooler because you didn't have everything inside the shirt.
Yeah, this is right up against your body.
Exactly. Breaking ball inside to Jed Lowry. So it is a warm afternoon for Manny Gonzalez regardless.
A little flare to right, and that will fall for a hit. So Lowry has a 1-out single here in the very first inning. And that'll bring up Danny Valencia, who's hitting in the third spot today.
Well, try to go back inside, and good hitting by Jed Lowry. And when you're a good two-strike hitter, these good things can happen because pitches inside, did not try to open, stayed inside the ball and shot it to right field. You just try to protect with a couple of strikes, and Jed Lowry did it. And we showed the numbers for Danny Valencia yesterday. He has done exceptionally well with that, with 2 strikes as well.
And Valencia has been tough on left-handers this year. He has a .410 batting average. And it's left-handed pitching. .313 against right-handers. Altogether, a .338 average for the A's third baseman. On deck is Chris Davis. Just a couple of runs scored in this series for the A's. 2 runs and now 17 hits. He hit the 1 home run. Breakdown. Valencia with 5 of his 9 home runs against left-handers. 39 at bats against left-handers, 112 at bats against right-handers.
And we have seen him have success going to right field against the lefties, especially if they pitch him outside. And maybe because of that, Lamb so far is pitching Valencia inside, as he did with Jed Lowry before he singled. Looks like Lamb is the type of left-handed pitcher who will control his own game as far as picking off base runners. California native, but the one thing about lefties, they're looking right at the base runner, and when they get the calls from the bench to throw over or pitch out or do whatever, if they can control it themselves, that is even better.
So 3-0 now to Valencia. Lamb was one of 3 players that the Reds acquired from the Kansas City Royals in the Johnny Cueto trade last year, right near the deadline. The Reds got 3 left-handed pitchers. And then Finnegan is in the rotation. He was one of them. Lamb. And Valencia takes the walk. So that'll bring up Chris Davis, who probably not 100%, right? I think the elbow is still bothering him for good reason.
Well, that was with no protection. Scott Feldman got him in Houston, but then here he had the protection. On Friday, got hit again, almost the identical spot, but a little bit of a pad on his left elbow area. Davis, the only player to face this left-hander today.
First pitch is a strike. 235 for Chris Davis, 14 home runs and 36 runs batted in. Mark Trumbo leads the American League in home runs with 20. Todd Frazier, the former Red, has 19. Cano has 18. Machado, Beltran 16. And David Ortiz was 16.
Trumbo, that lineup with the other Chris Davis and Machado and Jones. I mean, they've got a lot of home run hitters in Baltimore, especially in a home run friendly park. Oriole Park at Camden Yards.
I think if the Orioles were smart and Trumbo was smart, and they probably both are, they would get together on a contract.
That's right.
Seems to have found a home there. Davis takes a strike, 1-2. See, Lamb 88 miles an hour, so as Ray said, he's not a real hard thrower.
Sometimes pitchers like this can really be hard on hitters. Changing speeds, keeping the ball on the corner, trying to eliminate the middle part of the plate.
I wouldn't say he's a soft tosser, but
he's not 97, 98.
No.
I mean, that's
tall and thin, 6'4", 205 pounds.
The pitch is the fastball, and he'll throw the cutter off the fastball, two-seamer as well.
Pretty good pitch there, 90 miles an hour, right in on the hands.
It's a little deceptive because his move to the plate, he had the inside move to second. This was a kind of a quick pitch to Chris Davis, tied him up on the inside part of the plate, but was called off the plate. Really not pitched the right-handers outside yet, if anything.
That one was ripped foul into the seats just past the Reds dugout.
One thing with Cabrera, the catcher, catching for the first time today, he drew the short straw also. But maybe he's setting up inside to get the left-hander to finish, because everything, cutter and fastball so far have been inside. He did throw one a little bit off speed to Davis for strike 2.
Nice play at third. Suarez out at second, and that's a double play. So the Reds have played very good defense in this series, and they get good defense here in the very first inning and turn another double play. The double play hurts them. Let's look at the lineup for the Reds today. Cozart, Votto, Phillips, Bruce, Duvall, Suarez, Selski, Cabrera, and Lamb. There's your Reds starting lineup.
And for Kendall Graveman making the start this afternoon, and because the off days, as we have discussed this week, the A's have been able to kind of manipulate the starting rotation. So Kendall Graveman was supposed to start last night, instead this afternoon. But bottom line for him, as he looks for his third win of the season, is get the sinking fastball working. If this is a home run bandbox, which the A's really have not seen it that much, still like to keep the ball on the ground as much as possible, get Kendall Graveman back in the form that he has been.
First pitch, a sinker at the knees. First strike to Zach Cozart. Cozart is hitless in this series out of the leadoff spot. He's 0 for 8, but a good season all around. 285 with 9 home runs. And he hooks one foul down the left field line.
There's your hanger. After a good sinker, then he threw a hanger, and that's fortunate that Cozart was out in front, pulled it foul.
I think we got a nice play. Yes, we do.
Oh.
Big fella, no need for a glove.
Still think one of the greatest things about Old Memorial Stadium, that gentleman would have heard the great Rex Barney, the late Rex Barney, say, give that fan a contract. He'd said over the PA system. I mean, you could hear him throughout the stadium. I mean, you wanted to make a great catch if you're a fan. because Rex Barney would say that.
It's a good idea, really.
Oh, it's great.
He's all right. He's all right. His hand hurts a little bit. Little bone bruise.
He's got a pearl all rubbed up in mud. This is a great catch. This might be the highlight of our day. Jump up, get it, bring it down. Got it. So yeah,
good game face too right there. Strong start to the game. Good defense here in the first inning. Got his Marshall University shirt on.
Now he's sending out word to everybody. Did you see that play I just made?
The A's announcers are saying you made a great catch. Cozart, Votto, and Phillips here in the bottom of the first inning. Cozart drives one. Right center, hit well. Coco on the move, and he's going to get there to make the catch. So one out here in the bottom of the first inning. Let's look at the defense for the Athletics. Davis, Crisp, and Smolinski in the outfield. Valencia, Simeon, Lowry, and Butler third to first, with Josh Fegley getting a start today. So Bob Melvin probably scratching his head a little bit, Ray, trying to figure out how to get this team back rolling again. I think one of the frustrating things is, remember, the A's won their first 7 road games.
Right.
But since then, they've gone 5-20.
Really hard to believe to start that well. And thinking, man, it couldn't play well at home, and yet started this trip after winning 5 consecutive at home. But
so it's kind of been that way all year. It's kind of 2 steps forward, 3 steps back.
Exactly.
And that's where you get to 25-36 as your record.
Still think Bob Melvin has to be looking at 2012, a season that looked like at the beginning it was going to be a dismal long season, but turned out to be exciting towards the end, and of course winning the division the final day. But you know, you have that on your resume, you got to be thinking, and players have to know that it's a long season, anything can happen, so you don't give up hope. And you know that Bob Melvin is never going to give up hope, and his staff, and just hope the players play well enough to try to get back the magical 500 and see what can happen.
2-2 the count to Joey Votto. Votto is 1 for 6 with a couple of walks. So even Votto hitting .226, which is 90 points behind his career average. His on-base percentage is still .352. And he rips that one foul. It's just what Joey Votto does. 37 walks this year. And I bet, Ray, when it's all said and done, you're going to look at Joey Votto's numbers at the end of the season, and they won't be a whole lot different than most other years. He'll probably get hot, get his average up to around 290 to 300. Even with his struggles early, still 11 homers and 35 RBIs. That's pretty good numbers.
And you know, he wants to play every day. A day like today, after Friday night, Saturday mid-afternoon, and then a Sunday day game. But Brian Price, the manager, same lineup as you mentioned, with the exception of a catcher and Selski in center field. Billy Hamilton was available, he probably would be playing. But it's tough to try to get Joey Votto swinging a bad pitch. I mean, he's so disciplined.
Well, look how much he chokes up, Ray.
Exactly, and that makes a huge difference.
He's spending a lot of time in the batter's box, though,
which is unusual. He usually just gets his spot and stays there, and you know, maybe facing a pitcher he's never seen. First time Kendall facing the Reds.
And he lines one to right field for a base hit. So Votto gets his second hit in the series.
Yeah, there's a perfect example of what you're saying. Choking up, and you watch Votto. This is an off-speed pitch, and he plants, waits, attacks. And I mean, that's just a good swing, because he was geared fastball, got the off-speed, adjusted, and drove the ball hard to right field for a base hit. And again, if you know the hitter is not going to be swinging at a bad pitch, you have to be at least around the plate. Otherwise, he's going to reach first base anyway.
First pitch down and away. You know, when you look at this Reds lineup, and it's a decent lineup.
Yeah.
And going back to last year, this team lost 98 games, and it's hard to imagine that they lost 98 games because you have this group, decent lineup. They also had Todd Frazier, who hit 35 home runs, and they had Johnny Cueto, Mike Leake, and Aroldis Chapman.
Wow. 98.
Those 4 guys, a couple of them traded in the offseason, a couple of them traded at the trade deadline last year, but that's a fair amount of talent. It's hard to believe that they lost 98 games last year. Crisp goes back, he makes the catch.
And they're going to lose some more players, whether by trade, probably more so by trade. Jay Bruce, talking to George Grant on the TV side for the Reds, said, you know, unfortunately, and you were mentioning about his club option for next year, which is going to be enticing for somebody to give up more than just what they would for a rental player. Maybe get him at the trading deadline, and knowing they have him for next year, which in today's world, $13 million is a bargain, and that's what he's signed for next year as an option, club option. But he is a good player, and somebody's going to really want him badly enough to give up some quality players.
But you know what, Ray? He's only, I'm just looking if he had a birthday. 29 years old?
Yeah, 29.
He's been around a long time, but still, that is not an older player.
Kind of in his prime, really.
Yeah.
And with the Reds, and like we said, the trading deadline is July 31st, and when the club option kicks in for next year, that means whoever would trade for him could get him for the stretch drive, plus knowing they have him for 2017.
He rips that one towards center. Crisp gets back, makes the catch, side retired. Votto single, he is stranded, and we are scoreless after 1 from Cincinnati. Brought to you by Black Bear Diner. Feed your inner bear. We're right on the shores of the Ohio River here at the Great American Ballpark. No score, second inning. And Billy Butler to lead it off. First pitch to Butler is in for a strike from John Lamb. A's had 2 on and 1 out in the first, but Chris Davis hit into a 5-4-3 double play. So I was talking to Steve Vucinich, right? A longtime A's equipment manager. We show you the bats because that's where the story is headed. We had an off day here on Thursday, and Steve Vucinich, who orders literally thousands of bats a year, he had never been to the Louisville Slugger factory in nearby Louisville, which is about an hour and a half from here. So he went to the factory, never been there before, and he got a full tour, said it was awesome.
Yeah.
And he told me that they used to, in their heyday, when there wasn't a lot of other bat companies, make 10 million bats a year. Now they make 2 million.
That's unbelievable.
And there's so many other.
Oh yeah, tons of bat manufacturers.
But I would imagine when you were playing, it was Louisville Slugger. That was probably about it, right?
Louisville, Adirondack.
Adirondack.
Yeah, it was it. Matter of fact, I want to say it was Louisville who would actually show up in spring training with the big truck and a lathe. They'd have them. You go out and
you could look at the difference.
Yeah, and you could actually have a bat made right there on site.
Quite a few more styles as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it used to be you had there was what was one of the most popular
S2.
S2, yeah.
And the thing is, the S or the B, they stood for. I want to say, and I'm sure, but S for some reason stood for Stan, and
really?
And B for Brooks,
okay.
or but I mean there were initials for. I used a B267, which was a kind of a small handle, big barrel. S2 was more kind of thin all the way. Billy Williams used that all the time. This Billy Butler got a base hit on a breaking ball up the middle. So at least to start with a base hit in this second inning. Jed Lowry with a 1-out hit last inning. But probably the weight of the bats now are so much lighter. Remember when Dick Allen played for the White Sox, he used a 42-ounce bat. Babe Ruth a 52-ounce bat.
That's like I mean, in all honesty, that would be almost like a weighted bat now.
Exactly.
I mean, that's 52 ounces.
And when you see bats breaking, and of course they're concerned about the maple bat, and that's the reason they actually take the bats and x-ray them to try to figure out why they're breaking the way they are. And it's kind of dangerous in a sense, but the bats are so light, you get the bat speed, but when you make contact, the thickness is not there. And I've said it before that like Frank Sinchek, we'd go, Frank said, hey, order me a Reggie name bat because he got the best wood, but we'd put our number on it and give our dimensions what we wanted. But certain players got the best wood, and we knew that. And Reggie was the top of the list.
3-0 pitch in for a strike to Marcus Semien. Semien hitting in the 6th spot. Two for 8 in the series is Semien. And he rips one down the left field line, headed for the seats, and that baby's gone. A line shot for Marcus Semien, and he has his 12th home run of the year, and the A's have a 2-0 lead.
Well, that sounded great off the bat. Number 12 for the A's shortstop, and just 2 away from the team leader in Chris Davis. But Marcus Semien, a fabulous season playing shortstop, swinging the bat. He just turned on a 3-1 pitch again, trying to go inside. And this time, John Land did not get it where Cabrera wanted it. And Marcus Semien looking forward to tomorrow night's game 5 of the NBA championship. Put himself on the board with that shot down the left field line.
So here's Josh Phegley, who takes a strike.
Marcus likes basketball.
Well, is he going to be able to pay attention to the Warriors game tomorrow? I don't think so.
No, he'll be paying attention to the Texas Rangers and baseball game, but he will find a way to follow them. But look at this, right down the line, and that is a great swing. Especially, it's not if he had tried to get out in front and do that, he probably would have pulled the ball foul, like Cozart did in the bottom half of the inning, first inning. But he stayed back and just kept his hands inside to where he was able to hit the ball hard down the left field line.
One and 2 to Phegley. Cabrera sets up inside, and Phegley digs it out, and he's got a base hit to left field. So 3 straight hits against Lamb here in the second inning. The A's have a 2-0 lead.
It's amazing Josh Phegley has not caught that much on this road trip because the A's have seen all right-handed pitchers, but he stays strong. Turn on a fastball inside like Marcus Semien, and this shot to left field for a base hit.
And here's Smolinski. Smolinski skies one to center, hit pretty well. Selski going back, still going back, and that baby's gone. Smolinski to straightaway center field, and it's 4-0 Athletics.
Well, there's some hard hit balls already in this inning. All four hit very hard. And Jake Smolinski, Coliseum for his first home run. This one, good fastball low and away this time, and he just, what a great swing from the right-hander, straightaway center field. And for some reason, today the ball seems to be carrying. That one carried probably better. Simeon's was a line drive. This one, you go straightaway center, you're thinking, well, maybe Selski's going to get to it, but it just kept going. It showed a lot of power, did Smolinski.
So Athletics, the offense has struggled on the trip, but a good start today. 4 runs and 5 hits. Just a couple runs per game on the trip. 4 solo home runs, but today a couple of 2-run shots. Those numbers were coming into today's game. So a good start.
I forgot the pitcher was Eddie. Maybe Lamb was trying to pitch to Smolinski, figuring that Graveman is going to be bunting.
Strike 3 called, and that's the first out of the second.
Smolinski showing his power because Selski, the center fielder, just kept going back like he had a chance to catch it, and it cleared the wall by plenty from the grassy area in center field. So Jake Smolinski, his first start of the weekend against the lefty. Used as a pinch hitter, which in the National League parks, pinch hitting for the pitchers.
Breaking ball in for a strike to Coco Crisp. Crisp hit a fly ball to left field in the first inning. Well, Lamb has been terrific in his last 2 starts. He beat the Rockies, went 7 innings, gave up 1 earned run, and then his next start he beat the Cardinals, went 7 1/3 and gave up 1 earned run. So it's his last 2 starts, not too shabby, but the A's getting to him early today. And already at 40 pitches. Up the middle, but Phillips is there. And Phillips throws out Crisp, and that's the second out here in the second. And that'll bring up Lowry.
A's first crooked number, a 4 spot since the first game in Milwaukee on Tuesday night. Scoring 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 9th.
Lowry takes inside. He's now with 64 home runs as a team. Phillips grabs it, side retired. But the A's get 4 runs. A 2-run homer by Marcus Semien, his 12th of the year, and a 2-run homer by Jake Smolinski, his 2nd of the year. So inning and a half in the books from Cincinnati. It's now 4-0 A's lead. Well, my partner Ray Fosse likes really hot, sticky kettle corn on 95-degree days. What I would prefer is that right there.
I'd have one too.
Would you? Okay.
Yeah. No, that.
So a little icy.
Yeah, those are good. Especially on a. This is like a county fair day, you know, hot. Get your snow cones.
Like 4 of those.
Yeah. Cotton candy. Kettle corn.
You're going to eat that on the plane? Maybe. You get it in your bag. Get it through security.
The one thing they
Sir, what's this big bag?
Yeah, they'll confiscate one thing, my kettle corn.
Well, they got their eye on you a little bit. So. Swing and a miss. So Adam Duvall strikes out. Let's see if Kendall Graveman can have a shutdown inning. He scored a 4 spot.
On a 2-strike slider and a good break on the ball. A lot of times a hitter on 0-2, they'll start thinking, well, a pitcher's going to waste, try to get me to chase. But that time Kendall went right after him and threw a good slider in the middle of the plate.
Here's Eugenio Suarez. He's got 13 home runs. Breaks his bat. Did Simeon get it in the air? He did not, but he'll flip to first. Telling you, that's not an easy thing to do.
No.
The bat was going right towards Simeon, and so was the baseball.
See how that bat
Marcus stayed with him.
That bat broke with a handle. And see the cupped out end of the bat. But there's the bat to the right of Simeon. He did try to catch in the air, but it was short hopped. But that's a lot of bat heading his direction. The bat went actually farther than the baseball. As he charged to catch the ball, the bat just kept going.
So with 2 outs, here's Steve Selski. First look at Selski in this series. He's playing center field. Takes inside with a fastball. Selski's been up and down a couple times between the big leagues and AAA Louisville. Under the glove of a diving Valencia, and that's a base hit.
So if he's in Louisville, he gets all the bats he wants, huh?
You would think.
Yeah, just go out and pick your own.
That'd be a good place to play AAA, right? If you need a bat, you just go right to the factory.
A little breaking ball stayed up again, this time on the ground, but hard hit into left field. Not too many Wonder Boys over there, though, in the Louisville Slugger. Grab me a bat, Bobby. Gonna hear that next Friday, right? Coliseum. Fireworks.
Good stuff. And that one is lined toward left. On the move is Davis. He's not going to get it. Selski rounds third. They're waving him home, and he's going to score. Ramon Cabrera with a 2-out RBI double, and it's 4-1. So Selski with 2 outs. Obviously, he's moving the crack of the bat, and that helped the Reds there.
Ball that was left up, and man, you leave it up, tailing away from the left-hander. He went with it. And for Chris Davis on left field, really wasn't playing that shallow. That's how hard the ball was hit to the warning track. And Selski, like you said, two outs, and he's hoping that the ball gets over the left fielder's head, which it did, able to score easily. But 3 pitches, 3 strikes to Duvall, 1 pitch out to Suarez, and then single double on just a total of 3 pitches.
And here's the pitcher, Lamb. Well, it's always frustrating for a pitcher too when you're playing a National League lineup where the 8th place hitter gets a hit at all.
Exactly.
But it's really frustrating when he gets an RBI hit. And I'm not saying that you should walk Cabrera to pitch to the pitcher. That's not the point. The point is you do know that the pitcher's in the on deck, sir.
And they're not going to pinch hit for him in this part of the game. Exactly.
And again, it's just one of those strange little quirks about National League Baseball where even the pitcher standing in the on deck circle and the pitcher's generally don't hit very well. It still has it in the pitcher's head.
Exactly.
The guy in the mound.
Lamb is hitting .091.
1 for 11.
Pitches every 5th day, maybe averages a couple of at-bats per game, depending how deep he pitches.
Outfield shallow and shifted toward left center. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So a couple of strikeouts for Graveman in the inning, but also a run for the Reds on Ramon Cabrera's 2-out RBI double. Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. A recap of the Major League Baseball draft. From A's perspective, A's have the 6th pick in the draft. They took A.J. Puck, big left-hander from the University of Florida. When it was all said and done, 41 picks for the A's and 35 were college players. So that's interesting. 19 of the 41 were pitchers, 5 catchers, 8 infielders, and 9 outfielders. So doesn't mean it was necessarily planned that way, but lots of collegians taken by the A's in this year's draft. So now you got to get them all signed and get them to a minor league spot. It's a lot of work for the front office.
Okay, many years ago, and I don't know if it's still standard. I know Eric Kubota, the scouts might give an accurate description of the draft, but I'd always been told that for a high school player, they pretty much allow 4 to 6 years to make it to the big leagues. College, 2 to 4.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because college player has had the experience of pitching in college, whether junior college or a 4-year school. And I think they're always looking for the best players or pitchers, but if you pick a kid out of college, you have a pretty good idea how he's matured as a player or pitcher and how quickly you think he's going to make it.
One of the A's first 3 picks were college pitchers.
I tell you, it's a tough job as a scout to try to evaluate players, especially with an amateur draft every June. And the scouts in the stands today down in the hot sun.
Yeah, it's not a good day to be a scout if you're here. Danny Valencia got him pretty good. Let's see where.
It's going to go straight down. Top of the left foot.
It's hard to explain to people how painful that is. But that was a good one.
That's why you always give a lot of credit to, I think of Ron Hunt many years ago, Don Baylor, Craig Biggio, players, well, Jason Kendall. Some guys had padding, other guys didn't. And the guys who don't would turn their arms in to get hit. Definitely give them a lot of credit because it hurts no matter where you get hit and how hard the pitch is thrown.
Those foul balls, they always seem to be from the knees down. Once in a while you see one in the shin. It's usually down around the foot, ankle area. One and two the count to Valencia. He'll be followed by Davis and Butler here in the top of the third. 4-1 the A's lead. Valencia walked in the first. Changeup stays outside. So Lamb about to throw pitch number 50, and here it is, and it's high. So now a 3-2 count. Looks like it's going to be an off-speed pitch. Came inside. Valencia rolls it foul. Lamb with a little Noah Syndergaard look. Long blonde hair. Syndergaard throws a little harder than Lamb.
Little bit harder. Just a little bit. Change up.
Yeah, a pretty good changeup. And Valencia is retired.
Celebrate Father's Day at the ballpark. You can log on to athletics.com/tickets and use coupon code DAD to receive $10 off field level tickets. See the A's take on their AL West rivals, the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's 1 week from today for Father's Day. Discounted Father's Day tickets are subject to availability. So make plans now to treat Dad to an afternoon of baseball on Sunday, June the 19th, 1 week from today. Good day at the Coliseum. Bring out Dad. Speaking of father-sons, I know Marty Brennan happy to see his son, Tom.
Tom's here.
Tom had a little throat surgery, but he is back, was there today, and very popular gentleman in the Cincinnati area.
Oh, that's a good dad right there.
Yeah, that's good. Be better if you put a cap on.
Good dad. Yeah, good to see Tom Brenneman in the house today. Recovering from a little throat surgery. He'll be back soon.
And a chance to spend some extra time with your dad while the team was in Milwaukee.
It was terrific.
A couple of off days that you spent on the farm. That was nice of you.
Schedule makers said you can have an off day in Milwaukee and it'll be your dad's birthday. So I get to
that's perfect.
Celebrate birthday number 91.
That's great.
91.
Looking forward to 92.
Yeah. And he's probably at home watching the game. Why not?
So an early Father's Day gift.
That's right.
Got a birthday visit from his son.
That's it. He's got a doubleheader every day to watch. And he knows when the games start too, believe me.
Well, he's probably done enough work on the farm, so he doesn't have to worry about that.
No, he's done.
Is he on a boat like that?
He is not on a boat. Unless the couch is shaped like a boat. Good day to be on the water.
Yeah.
Base hit center field. So Chris Davis has a 1-out single. 6 hits now for the Athletics against John Lamb.
Well, 6 of those hits and 4 have been up the middle. So good approach by the Athletics today. That's the third with a couple of strikes. Chris Davis took a big swing on a 3-1. And then right back up the middle on a 3-2 fastball. Maybe a little cutter from the left-hander. Left it up, and Chris Davis back up the middle with a solid single to get on base with 1 out. Every time we show the river and the boats, I keep trying to figure it out. I want to spend the rest of this year figuring out how the river's running north.
Yeah.
You know, that's
well, now they're telling us the Nile River runs north too, but I got news for you. That is not the Nile River.
No. That is not the Nile.
I think the Nile has a little more character than.
Yeah, we can see this river, but definitely not the Nile.
Inside to Butler. But we have more Cincinnati knowledge than we did before we got here. That river right there runs north. Flows north into the Ohio. It's just a small little river. Obviously has a mind of its own if it's flowing north.
So you think of salmon going upstream. Well, going north, they would just go downstream, right? I know you're shaking your head. There's no salmon here. I know that.
But what you're saying is that would be a good river for salmon to be on.
Because they wouldn't have to fight.
Get a little push.
Yeah.
Bruce, a long run, and he's not going to get it. So Butler drops one down the right field line. When the ball went up, you thought maybe Bruce was going to have a chance, but he just could not get to it. So Billy Butler's 2 for 2. 2 on, 1 out.
Billy likes left-handers, and he was studying the video about John Lamb because these guys have not seen him, and dropped it in perfectly. And Bruce made the great play yesterday going into foul territory down the right field line. Chris Davis had to hold up because of Bruce's ability to get to the ball, and wisely did not go to third, or try to, with the strong arm of Jay Bruce. John Lamb's getting a visit, but we talk about Jay Bruce and his hitting, but you combine that with the defense, it's kind of like the A's Josh Reddick. I mean, his offense is great. Look forward to getting Red back in the lineup, but when you combine the full package, complete package of offense and defense, it's a player that I'm sure a lot of clubs would love to have. That type.
Mark Riggins, the pitching coach, comes out to talk with Lamb. That meeting is broken up. "61 pitches for Lamb, as he has been in the stretch a lot, and it's just the 3rd inning. Marcus Semien takes a strike down around the knee. Semien with a 2-run homer in the 2nd. He now has 12 home runs and 27 RBIs. How about this, Ray? Marcus Semien has been in the A's starting lineup every game this year. 62 straight.
That's right.
Is he a manager's dream or what?
He is a manager's dream.
You don't have to worry about him.
No, and his work ethic is just off the charts. I mean, still every day. Even today in his heat, he was out working with Ron Washington. Turned on the fastball inside and buggy whip, man. What a great swing on the fastball inside. And, wow, too aggressive.
So Suarez leaped up, caught it, and just flipped it to second. Davis gets caught wandering a little bit too far off, could not get back in time. So it's another double play for the Reds, and the A's do not score. AT CIN California is brought to you by AAA. What does your insurance do when it's not doing insurance? It should do more. Go to AAA.com for more details. A's 4, Reds 1, bottom of the third. As we mentioned, Military Appreciation Day here at the ballpark. We should send out our thoughts and prayers to the people of Orlando, and especially the families of the victims in Orlando, and what is a very, very sad development that is going on in Florida. Kind of hard to figure out, quite frankly, but we're thinking about them. Our thoughts are in prayers with those people and the families. So the first hit in this series for Zach Kozak. He's their leadoff man, and he's aboard here in the bottom of the third. So that's 4 hits now for the Reds against Graveman. So Graveman's going to have to get to work here, because now you have the real power hitters coming up. Votto, Phillips, Bruce, and Duvall. Votto had a base hit in the first inning.
I think what we're seeing and have seen, especially today, and maybe the heat's contributed to a little bit, and that is swing early. Kendall Graveman's throwing strikes, has been around the plate, and as a result, the Reds are not waiting around. Votto had the 3-2 count in the first inning, but other than that, swinging early, the Reds.
No walks, 2 strikeouts for Graveman so far. Votto takes a touch outside. He does have a good eye. Last year, Joey Votto walked 143 times.
Well, outside corner, just enough off the plate. Well, I think when you choke up as Votto does, it really allows you to have tremendous bat control and discipline enough that you can wait. And if he still hits home runs, then that adds to his success, be able to have the on-base percentage.
And in this ballpark, I mean, he can hit the ball out right down the left field line, center. He can go anywhere.
He almost got Doolittle Friday night going left field. So it's he's a smart hitter, and probably a little bit different for him in this series because facing pitchers he's never seen before.
Shift is on, and Votto takes a strike on the outside corner.
I can see Votto being such a student of the game that he watches video and knows the tendencies of pitchers. He knows how they're going to pitch him. And facing Kendall Graveman for the first time, you can look at video, but trying to see firsthand when he gets to the plate. Second at bat for him. Slider.
There goes. Swing and a miss. Throw to second base is dug out by Simeon, and they got him. Huge play by the A's, and just like that, there are 2 outs.
One thing about a catcher, you don't always have to make a perfect throw on the bag. Taking a look at it maybe, but a strong throw. But the biggest thing was Marcus Semien being able to catch the ball on the short hop. Fegley got rid of it quickly, and Marcus Semien applying the tag, but being able to catch the ball first and foremost. And so the Reds trying to stay out of a double play via the ground ball, and especially with the hitter at the plate who doesn't strike out that much. It's Phil and Culberth making the play or the call at second. They looked like the Reds are going to take a look at it, but decided against it. So great play all around. A strike him out, throw him out. And Marcus Semien, great play on the back end.
So 2 outs for Phillips. That's the first guy that Fegley has thrown out this year, so he's happy about that. And we're 5 for 5 against him. He's got a good arm. We've seen that. Phillips taken all the way.
Well, you anticipate he gets the slider, has to wait for the ball, and then once he does, get the footwork working. He's probably disappointed in the throw bouncing, but nothing wrong with it.
Phillips loops one into right field for a hit. So Brandon Phillips is 1 for 2 today. He'll take it.
It did get jammed. Billy Butler was closest to it, but did not range enough to his right to be able to get the ball.
So back into the stretch for Graveman as Jay Bruce steps in. Bruce hit a fly ball to center field in the first. Shift is on with Lowry well out in the shallow right field. Outfield pulled a little bit toward right as well. Popped up near the A's dugout and into the dugout. So Fegley, Valencia, and Graveman all over there.
So I know what you're going to say. Tomorrow night, that's an out.
Yep.
And it will be, because the Coliseum, that's plenty of room. You don't have to worry about the dugout. But here, an extra swing for Jay Bruce, which is not always that great.
Red's third base coach trying to get in the way a little bit. I can't say his name because that's not allowed. It's a rule. It's a rule. Unless it's a sponsored element.
In the final game of the series,
that's right.
probably
that's
is.
Right. Swing, gonna miss, and it's 1-2. Strict orders from the A's fans.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out where Mickey is.
Mickey.
We know where Mickey Morabito is. He celebrated his birthday yesterday.
He did. Happy birthday to the great Mickey Morabito.
But the other Mickey with the same last name as the third base coach remains nameless. But trying to remember.
Yeah,
that's
right. He was kind of a pain in the World Series as well. 88 World
big
Series.
time. 88 and 90. 2 years the A's lost the World Series.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, that last name.
That guy.
I just can't remember. No, Delaire, not Jose Rio either. The former Athletic turned the tables on his team.
Yeah, he did enough damage. 2-2 the count to Jay Bruce. And on the outside corner, strike 3 called. So Graveman, it's a couple of strikeouts and a throw him out, strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Sports Service delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Phegley to lead it off, goes after the first pitch, hits it high and foul down the right field line. Phegley, Smolinski, and Graveman here in the top of the 4th inning. If you're just joining us, the A's got a pair of 2-run homers in the 2nd inning. Semien and Smolinski. And that is how they got their 4 runs. So back to the Coliseum tomorrow night. Open up a 4-game series against the Texas Rangers. May want to plan ahead with Game 5 of the NBA Finals going on at Oracle. So figure out your best route to get in, and in case of a Warriors victory, get out. Could be a little celebration.
Would that be a Bartable night?
Something. And Phegley on the 3-1 pitch takes low. So Phegley will get a walk to lead things off.
Phegley got on in front of Jake Smolinski in his first at bat, and this is what Jake did. And tell you what, he did not waste any time. First pitch hitting. Both home runs have come on first pitch fastballs. The first one he hit at the Coliseum went to left field. This one straight away center.
Smolinski goes after the first pitch, loops it foul down the right field line.
I was thinking about the hitters, and as you mentioned, all right-handed pitchers. Josh Phegley did start last Saturday, but with the lineup situation the way it is, righties have not been in the lineup that much, and it's tough to kind of be disciplined enough to see pitches, take pitches, and not surprised to see the aggressiveness of some of the guys. Whenever they get a pitch they think that they can hit, first one, second one, whatever it might be, they're going after it.
Smolinski behind in the count, 0-2. Stephen Vogt getting the afternoon off. This is Billy Burns. Short lead for Phegley at first. Reached for and popped up toward right field. Smolinski may have chased a ball. So he is retired.
The backdoor curveball, Cap, and I think from a right-hand hitter standpoint, you see the break in so many pitchers, left-handers. I've seen Rich Hill do it so effectively. The backdoor breaking ball starts outside, all of a sudden it ends up on the corner, and you start thinking 2 strikes I better protect, and he could not foul it off to get another pitch. Instead it stayed in play.
I think too, Ray, sometimes a hitter may be looking for a specific pitch, and then or location, and then if you see that it is in that area, because you guessed right, you go after it, exactly. And even though it may not be a strike. Graveman bunts and he rolls it foul. Kendall Graveman, as you just saw that note, he had an at bat earlier this year at Yankee Stadium, not an interleague game.
And he'd probably look at the lineup today and say, hey, Skip, how come I'm not hitting 4th?
Slide me up there a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting 9th today. He hit 4th in that game as a result of the DH being taken out.
Juggled by Votto. Votto was going to go to second, but the ball kind of popped up out of his glove, and when that happened, he just took the sure out at first. But a sacrifice for Graveman.
Well, you're right. It was bunted hard enough, and I'm sure the corner infielder is in National League parks with American League pitchers hitting, and we saw Manaea try to bunt in Milwaukee and hit a line drive. This ball bunted very hard. That's why charging was Votto, and he was doing the 360, thinking about going to second and get the lead runner Phegley, but once it did pop out, had to go to first base, and the Gold Glove second baseman Phillips cleared himself to make sure there was a good lane and a good area for Votto to throw to.
Votto did everything right. It just he juggled it, but he got his feet in proper position to make a strong throw to second. So Fegley is the runner at second. Here's Crisp. Takes a fastball inside at 90 miles an hour.
Well, Graveman got the job done. And first of all, he's off the bases. But most importantly, he sacrificed the runner to second, something that Bob Melvin said, interleague play. Think about your hitting all you want, but just be able to advance the runner via the bunt. And those are more impressive results than anything.
Keep him cool.
At one time they used ammonia water. I don't know what they use now, but on hot days like this, they just put a towel in a bucket of ice water with ammonia in it and just wrap it around your head, and nothing felt better.
Coco down the third base line, backhanded by Suarez. Long throw across, got it. Eugenio Suarez with a nice backhanded play and the long throw to get Coco Crisp. Bottom of the fourth coming up. 4-1 A's. Right choice, Daniel Migden, his major league debut yesterday, and he pitched well. Pitched into the 6th inning. 6 hits, 2 runs, had 5 strikeouts through 104 pitches. So it was fun watching him. He's got a little uniqueness to his delivery. The family was happy, and Daniel Migden did a nice job.
It's nice to talk to scouts after a performance, and he's got the mustache. I guess maybe he only has a handlebar when he pitches. That's down a little bit towards the ground a little bit, but yesterday did a good job, 5 2/3. Did pick up a loss, the 1 walk in front of the 2-run home run by Jay Bruce, and he can always say it wasn't a cheapie. It wasn't front row, it was almost back row.
Sean Manaea is going to pitch tomorrow in the series opener. The A's need a starter for Tuesday. And it was announced that it will be Eric Surkamp. Butler has it. Butler flips to Graveman for the first out. So Eric Surkamp will be brought up again. And he will pitch on Tuesday. Sonny Gray then would go Wednesday.
Now, Darvish has been scratched.
Yeah, how about that?
Shoulder problems.
So Darvish was supposed to pitch on Monday, but that is not going to happen. Shoulder's been bothering him a little bit. Martin Perez will pitch Tuesday, Holland Wednesday, Lewis on Thursday. So we have not heard anything about who will pitch for the Rangers tomorrow night.
And Cole Hamels today.
Cole Hamels is pitching today.
In the series finale in Seattle. But Darvish, that's had the Tommy John surgery, came back, and then shoulder issues.
First pitch to Suarez is a strike.
I still think back to Eric O'Flaherty, who the A's got from Atlanta, and he'd had Tommy John, and he said once that was corrected, then his shoulder bothered him. So there was a, but it almost sounded like that it was kind of expected. So from the Rangers standpoint, they hoped that maybe for Darvish, it's kind of something similar to that. because he's either at the end of his contract or one more, because I think if he had gone for rehab and then surgery, they probably would not have benefited. So for some reason, either club option, but it's close to being the end, and I think the Rangers were concerned that he didn't have surgery, then they were going to lose him for the remainder of his contract.
Inside again to Suarez. 2-2. Yeah, the Rangers and the Mariners playing the rubber game of their series up in Seattle. Hamels and Miley, the matchup there. It'll get started in a little while. Rangers a little banged up. Chu's been out for quite a while. Beltre's a little bit banged up now, but they're still playing great baseball. They've won 11 out of 14. They're a confident group.
Prince Fielder, top of the ninth, a 3-2 fastball, 2 outs against Cicek, and tied the game. And then they won an extra innings.
Yeah, that's they got a little moxie to them. Yeah. The Rangers, they're a very good team. Yeah, last night was a perfect example of how dangerous they are. 1 out away from a 1-0 win for the Mariners, and Prince Fielder homers.
0-2 start to Suarez, and then 4 fastballs just kept missing inside. Now Danny Valencia is talking as well. Are they going to call somebody out? Because home plate umpire look in the dugout. And this, I wonder if he covered first base, and Billy Butler did walk him back to the pitcher's mound. But when you have that little exertion from the pitcher's mound to cover first, which the shift against Duvall that he had to cover first base. But, you know, he's an Alabama kid, so you figure this is normal weather.
Here's Selski, who singled and scored in the 2nd inning. Rolls that one foul. Indians and the Angels will play the rubber game of their series later on out in Anaheim. Salazar and Huff. Salazar looking for his 7th win for the Indians.
Well, even the ball boy didn't want to go out. The skipper had to go out on the warning track to retrieve the baseball.
It's too hot.
That
right?
was foul. And they said, "Hey, listen, we're undercover. You know, we're not going anywhere."
I'm the ball boy. It's too hot. You're not paying me enough. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
This is the one that the ball hit to the right side, and with a shift, he had to get over quickly and found the bag and just kind of walked slowly back to the mound. And after that, 0-2, and then 4 consecutive pitches. But now he's 4 out of the strike zone, then 2 to Selski to get ahead of him.
Reach for, foul back to the screen.
Delay reminds them the sacrifice bunt ran hard. So, I mean, it's just a different game, and he is just trying to get through it and get the ammonia water or something to try to revive him a little bit, refresh him. When he got back to dugout,
Ramon Cabrera is the on-deck hitter. Close pitch.
A nice one to call. Picked it up a little bit more once Votto. Maybe Votto bobbled it intentionally.
Did it on purpose. Yeah. No question.
Forced the pitcher to have to run hard. Boy, look at this chest just beating him with the breathing. That's a great shot.
Swing and a miss. So strikeout number 5 for Graven.
Good sinker. Great sinker. Slider away, fastball away, and then a sinker down and in.
And now Ramon Cabrera will hit.
And for Kendall Graven, 2-6 on the season. Wins have been a premium for him. And now Bob Melvin's coming out and just to see how he is.
Well, he just doesn't look right. He's walking behind the mound. I mean, could be the heat. Who knows?
Well, the one thing the trainers and initially coach, everybody says hydrate before you come into these conditions. And hydrate means you drink a lot of liquids before. You can't do it the day of a game. You have to do it in advance of when you're going to be
So we'll keep an eye on Kendall Graveman as he faces Cabrera.
Meanwhile, the guys down in the A's bullpen in the shade saying, "What's wrong?" It's nothing. It's a cool breeze.
Beautiful down here. Cabrera, another hit down the right field line. Suarez headed for third, and Suarez will stop there. So Cabrera has his second hit, a single. It's first and third, 2 outs. And we may get a pinch hitter. In fact, I think we are going to get a pinch hitter.
First pitch hitting again. That's 2 pitches for Cabrera, 2 hits, a double RBI to left field, and a base hit down the right field line. Could have possibly stretched it into a double, but decided to hang on at first. Maybe he's worn out too.
It's going to be Waldrop, Kyle Waldrop, left-handed hitter. So Lamb goes 4 innings and gives up the 4 runs. First pitch is a fastball outside. So they're warming up Josh Smith in the Reds bullpen. Well, now 2-0. So John Lamb goes 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs. But the concern here is the 2-0 count to Waldrop with runners at the corners. Swing and a miss. He's trying to tie it up.
A backdoor slider. And I was talking about the wins being a premium for Kendall Graveman. But you also had to pitch 5 innings to qualify.
Not there yet.
And he is pitching the 4th inning, and not saying that, but he seems to be dragging a little bit. Is it his humid? That would have been a nice out. I mean, you looked in the 2nd inning, he threw only 12 pitches, and he faced 5 batters, gave up the 1 run. But he was throwing quality strikes early, and the hitters were swinging early.
Just looking out in that bullpen, Ray, Colomb is now getting up. So there's probably a little concern about Graveman. Line but foul. Is that our guy again? Did he make another one? Foul ball alley.
He's got a couple of pictures of Ted Kluszewski with those pipes.
Yeah.
He just took his ball. Let's compare. Yeah.
Nice.
That's a good shot.
Sun's out, guns out. And now full count. Dad caught it on the fly. The youngster got it on the ricochet. That's okay.
Hey, 2 in the family. That's pretty good.
The guy in the middle's like, well, I got to get a little more aggressive here. Big pitch here, 3-2. Cabrera, the runner at first, will take off. Suarez is down at third. Here it is, and it just missed outside on a very close pitch.
And looking at Bob Melvin down in the A's dugout, he is pacing, and it's a tough call. But wins are also at a premium for the Athletics. This ball just ran away. Could not catch the outside corners. He tried. So Cozart, who got his first hit to right field, is last at bat. And Joey Votto in the on-deck circle. And Kendall Graveman right now has to be thinking, this may be it.
This, yeah, if he doesn't get this guy. But, yeah, even though
with everything
he
considered,
would get through 4, he doesn't look like he's feeling that great. First pitch to Cozart is a strike. 94 miles an hour. But the way it is, the hot weather, these are the innings that will that'll just kill a pitcher. I mean, it's been a long inning, and he's had some long innings. Reds have had quite a few base runners.
And these are the games that you think back when you're pushing, you're running, and you're getting condition, and you say, why do I have to do all this? Well, these are the days that you need it. You make one start, and all of a sudden your knees. You know, he was supposed to pitch last night or yesterday afternoon. When I was supposed to pitch today, change things around.
Grounded to second. Lowry has it. He'll throw to first, side retired. So the Reds leave the bases loaded. So Graveman gets out of it, but we will keep an eye on him as it's 4-1. The A's lead after 4.
Coming up, you can come out and enjoy a great weekend of baseball from June 17th to the 19th as Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, and the Los Angeles Angels invade the Coliseum for an action-packed 3-game series. Friday's game will feature post-game fireworks. That'll be a great one. While Sunday's contest is a perfect Father's Day gift for family time. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/tickets. Fireworks Friday, theme of the baseball movies. Sunday, Father's Day. And boy, when the team gets off the plane tonight, they're going to say, wow, is this weather great.
Kendall Graveman's going to say, wow, is this weather great. That's the new pitcher, Josh Smith. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So Smith comes in for his 6th appearance. With the Reds last year a little bit. Started 7 games for Cincinnati. But now pitching out of the bullpen. Josh Smith. So he'll face Lowry, Valencia, and Davis, top of the 5th inning.
A lot of pitchers just basically sinker slider, and Smith in the category of those 2 pitches and slider. There's his fastball 4-seam.
Towards Selsky in center, and that's the first out here in the 5th inning.
Well, right now too, Kai, Kendall Graveman is praying for a long inning. He is now coming back into the dugout. As soon as he left the field, went down the steps, and he went into the clubhouse area. Now he is back on the bench, and glove in hand with some liquid, which is always good, and feeling good. Walt Horn's son is actually
married.
He's getting married this weekend. Exactly. And so while he is back in the Northwest, he's not endearing himself to this weather. No. So
he's having a good day, though, Walt.
Well, you know that. He's going to have a good day regardless.
Valencia, a little pop-up toward Votto, but it'll bounce off the tuck.
That was Jeff Collins, who one of the minor league trainers, actually a minor league medical coordinator, came in. So he said, what do you need, Kendall? I'll do it. And so Jeff Collins in for the weekend. He said, you know, it's not easy to fly into Cincinnati. I said, yeah, really? And so he, on the off day, came in to make sure he's going to be here for the weekend. So Walt, congratulate his family and the
Cameron is Walt's son's name.
Exactly.
So Walt was excited.
Trying to figure out how he's going to get from Milwaukee though to Northwest, but I'm sure he made it, and we'll hear all about it tomorrow night.
It's a good day. Son gets married, I would imagine.
Well, this overcast, and the umpire chief feeling comfortable talking to the head groundskeeper during or between innings. And
we never like to see that.
No, because I mean they're not talking about the heat, because the game started in a 30-degree temperature earlier, which is a little bit excessive, but maybe rain clouds coming in. Who knows?
Well,
maybe that river that runs north, maybe they're bringing in some rain clouds.
Well,
who knows?
When a river runs upward, it brings rain. But just below us, we both keep a pretty close eye on the weather, and our forecast did not see rain anywhere. But
see, that's
when they're talking to the head umpire, the crew chief, it's rain related.
Yeah, head groundskeeper. That's the only reason. He's got his Doppler on his phone and showing. So maybe the wind bringing some weather in. Who knows?
Valencia chases a pitch out of the strike zone. Valencia strikes out.
One thing I've learned though, Kipe, is that you never try to hurry because rain might be coming.
No.
And when you have a 3-run lead, because that can be very bad for you. This breaking ball out of the strike zone. And again, Darren Bush, important as the A's hitting coach, Adam Roden, the video coordinator, to have as much information on these pitchers the A's are not seeing or seeing for the first time. And that slider clearly out of the strike zone.
And as we speak, it just now starts to rain.
That's
You're never smarter than the rain.
That's unbelievable. Or the groundskeeper with the Doppler.
Yeah, it's just a little rain, and the sun is still out in.
And the cheer from the fans was great. We'll just sit right here. We're not going to move because if we can get some moisture, we'll take it.
So 1-1 the count to Chris Davis, who has hit into a double play, and he has singled. And this one's popped up. Could be over our head. And it is into the upper deck. So Josh Smith trying to have a 3-up, 3-down inning. John Lamb, the starter, did not have one of those. And he is going to have it, and in a good one with a couple of strikeouts as he strikes out Valencia and Davis. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It's the A's 4 and the Reds 1. This is the bad news. Game 4 of the 1990 World Series. Arnie Lansford, the pop-up, Todd Benzinger the catch, and the Cincinnati Reds completed a 4-game sweep of the A's, and they won it at the Coliseum. The heavily favored Athletics were shocked as the Reds won their 5th World Series overall. That was 1990. Jose Rio was the story.
Yeah.
And for the A's, that was the last of their 3 straight World Series appearances. Billy H. had 7 consecutive hits and was 9 for 12 in the series. And of course, the Reds had that terrific bullpen. They were good. The Reds were good, but still, the A's were indeed heavily favored after winning. There's Billy H.
He's been with the Reds for quite a while, and that was a series in which a season actually. Lou Piniella was a manager. Billy Hatcher's team went wire to wire. From the beginning to the end, and that's hard to do. You don't see a lot of clubs do it. The '84 Tigers under Sparky Anderson did it.
Lowry can't get it. Votto beats the shift with a base hit.
Billy Hatcher was really all over the place, and he did a great job. Looks a little bit different there. That was against Stewart. Double down the left field line. Scored Barry Larkin. One of the biggest, though, and I don't know if we're going to see it, but he was driving in runs. But if we show the ball that he hit the left or right center, if a certain right fielder, number 33, had been playing where he was supposed to, it would have been caught. But he wasn't watching Dave McKay. Move over, and he did, and that's going to do it. Melvin.
So Bob Melvin, I think, waited as long as he could. But he goes to get Kendall Graveman, who ends up going 4+ innings. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So Fernando Rodriguez coming in, and he will face Brandon Phillips when we come back. The A's with a 4-1 lead. Well, the hero for the Reds in that 1990 World Series was Jose Rio.
Yeah.
And he was nasty.
Remember the Athletics for the beginning of his career, and he did a great job. But it was just one of those things. I remember at the airport when we were headed to Cincinnati for the first 2 games. As Kendall Graveman is out after 4+ innings. But the fans at the airport in Oakland had the brooms sweep the Reds. Yeah, there was a sweep, all right. It's just the wrong way of the sweep.
And that one is lined to center, but right into the glove of Coco Chris. So Brandon Phillips goes after the first pitch, hit it hard. And here's Jay Bruce.
Well, he's trying to win this game as Fernando Rodriguez comes in with nobody out in the 5th inning, and I would think it would be a major bullpen effort the remainder of this game, and Bob Melvin would try to use as many as possible to get a victory. As Fernando 25th game for the hard-throwing right-hander out of the A's bullpen. Good cut fastball along with his fastball in the mid-90s. Good curveball.
The A's bullpen should be fairly well rested with a couple off days this week and really not a lot of work in the first 2 games of this series. But A's have just started a stretch where they are going to play 30 games in 31 days. And it started with this series. So they're going to be busy.
But as you had noted at the beginning of this series, those games will be on the West Coast. Between the Bay Area at home and of course down Southern California. Giants in the league, you have Pirates and Brewers coming in. So we've got some games at the Coliseum, and this will be a good one to pick up a win before heading home.
Right to Simeon. He's right near the bag. Steps on second. Throws to first. Butler digs it out, and it's a double play. So just like that, the bottom of the 5th is over. Nice job by Fernando Rodriguez. A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. A's 4, Reds 1. It's the top of the 6th inning from Cincinnati. Interleague baseball. Milwaukee and now Cincinnati. The A's will go to St. Louis later this year for a 3-game series. The Cubs and the Pirates will come to the Coliseum. And also the Brewers come for that 2-game series you just mentioned. So the National League Central is this year's opponent for the A's in interleague play. Next year it'll be the National League East. Butler drives one towards center. Selski stopped, and then it sails over his head. And Butler is going to have a double, and Butler's 3 for 3, and a misplay in center field by Steve Selski.
You're right. He went back and then stopped, and it went over his head. But it could also have been the fact, and going to get Alonso running for him after his 3-hit game. But a hanging slider, and Billy Butler, I think this fooled maybe Selski to the point they didn't think he'd hit it as hard as he did. He started and then stopped, and then all of a sudden it's over his head. Definitely misplayed as well as he has played. He started to jump for no avail. Could not have gotten to it. So Billy Butler, a great day. Scored a run, 3 hits. Picked a short throw from Marcus Semien for a double play to end the bottom half of last inning, and rest for the afternoon. Alonso takes over.
So here's Marcus Semien. That is hit number 8 for the Athletics. The Reds have 7. There has not been an error in this game. Semien shows bunt, and the pitch is outside. Phegley to follow after Phegley Smolinski. Marcus Semien a home run, and then he lined into a double play. So he is 3 for 10 in the series. Facing Josh Smith, who had a 3-up, 3-down 5th inning. This hot sun has gone behind the clouds. Like a slider for a strike. Semien now with 12 home runs on the year. This one in the air, right field. Bruce may have a play. He will. Gets it back in quickly. So Semien maybe trying to go the other way. He did, but the ball, just a fly ball to Bruce.
Marcus has a little bit on that swing of an uppercut swing, and as a result hit the ball in the air instead of on top and driving it to the right side as he was trying to do.
Ryan Dole gets up. Will need a strong effort from their bullpen today. Phegley takes a slider that's off the plate.
Max Muncy with a bat, and that would be because Fernando Rodriguez is due up third after Phegley.
Phegley to right. Bruce going back, but he'll have room on the track. He's got it. Alonso will tag and go to third, but now 2 outs. So it'll be up to Smolinski.
You know, Cap, here's a case where Bob Melvin immediately puts a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle. And this could be a little bit of a ploy because the pitcher spot is due. Instead, it's Max Muncy who's in the on-deck circle. And normally, if the pitcher was here, that maybe they would pitch around or carefully even walk Smolinski, pitch the pitcher. But this is kind of American League rules where you have a position player in the on-deck circle. He would hit for Fernando, especially with Dole loosening up.
Smolinski had a 2-run homer back in the 2nd inning, and then in the 4th he hit a fly ball to right field. Straightaway defense against Smolinski. Another slider, this one off the plate. Billy Butler with 3 hits today. Alonso running for him. Swing and a miss. Smith likes that slider.
He's throwing a lot of sliders and off the plate. Taking a little bit off the pitch as he throws it. And with those kind of swings, he may get another chase slider.
Throws it again. Well, Reds bullpen, which has been a much maligned bullpen this year, but it's been decent in this series.
Yeah.
It has not had to work a lot, but it will today. Got him. So he just stayed with that slider, and Smolinski chased it. Side retired. So a leadoff double, but the A's cannot score. And the bottom of the 6th is coming up. 4-1 A's. Stanley Cup Final. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. Then after the game, tune in to CSN California for Sharks Playoff Central. Don't miss a moment of the Sharks Stanley Cup journey with the Penguins leading the series 3-2. So the A's will try to win Game 6 at home. Extend that series. Here in Cincinnati, the A's leading 4-1. Alonso stays in the game at first base. And Fernando Rodriguez stays on the mound. First pitch grounded to Simeon. Adam Duvall is retired, so Duvall 0 for 3 today.
Bob Melvin had Ryan Dull up and Max Muncy in the on-deck circle. That is if the A's continue their offense in the inning, but that did not happen. Smolinski struck out, so Fernando Rodriguez back out on the mound, and a pinch hitter would probably lead off for the Athletics in the 7th. Fernando trying to continue his dominance, really 3 outs, and just came in and has thrown a total of 4 pitches.
Suarez takes a fastball outside. Pitching more than 1 inning is not uncommon at all to Rodriguez. A.J. Morris, the right-hander, starting to throw in the Reds bullpen. Did that hit him? Yes, it did. Suarez is going to take first base.
Trying to go inside with a fastball. Same thing that Kendall Graveman tried. 4 in a row off the plate inside. Ended up walking him in last at bat after starting 0-2. And this again, I guess the scatter report wrapping the bat a little bit. Pitch him inside, as he has hit 13 home runs on the season.
So the Reds have a 1-out base runner. Here's Steve Selski, who singled and scored in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. Well, this is appearance number 25 for Fernando Rodriguez, and it's the 12th time that he has gone more than 1 inning. So he's a valuable reliever for a number of different reasons, and that's one of them.
Randy has gotten better in time. Of course, had some shoulder surgery, recovered from that, and has thrown very effectively for the Athletics in various capacities.
And now 2-0.
Just trying to get the fastball down and just not finishing his pitch.
Ramon Cabrera is your on-deck hitter. Just need a ground ball right at somebody. A's with a couple of double plays in this game. One was a 6-3 double play. The other one was a strikeout, throw him out double play. Swing and a miss as Selski chased a pitch that was up. Another swing and a miss. 88 miles an hour with some good cutting action.
One of the best pitches that he has developed, especially coming into the season. Cut fastball, one of the more popular pitches now in Major League Baseball.
Well, right-handed hitters are hitting 103 against Rodriguez. 7 hits in 68 at-bats. That pitch probably has a lot to do with it.
Missing up and in. Of course, the in part, he was trying the up part. He was not, but just left it up as he had done the other 2 pitches out of the strike zone. But you know, the one thing the cutter does do is get him down in the zone, and maybe he would go back to it again on 3-2. A's have not added on since their 4-run 2nd inning.
Suarez not running, and the ball's hit hard to Simeon. Flip to Lowry, a high throw, but Lowry stays with it, and that's another double play. So third double play for the A's in the game, and we are through 6. The A's leading the Reds 4-1. Ace Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Black Bear Diner. Feed your inner bear. A's 4, Reds 1. It's the top of the 7th inning from Cincinnati. Long road trip coming to an end. A's try to get home with a W.
And it's going to be Billy Burns pinch hitting. It was Max Muncy who was in the on-deck circle. That was with runners on base, but Billy Burns is going to try to start something in the 7th.
And he'll face a new pitcher. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Another right-hander. This is A.J. Morris. So our first look at A.J. Morris. Josh Smith goes 2 innings, 2 good innings out of the bullpen. Smith with 3 strikeouts.
And the A's saw the only left-handed reliever in the first 2 games, Cingrani, and the only starting left-hander in today's game, John Lamb. Cingrani they didn't do very well against, but Lamb today 4 runs in the 2nd.
First pitch to the pinch hitter Burns is inside. So Burns, Crisp, and Lowry against the right-hander A.J. Morris. Morris is 29 years old, so he's been around a while. So the new center fielder is Tyler Holt. Tapped foul.
Would probably been a
double switch.
Makes
sense. So 1-2 the count to Burns. Reach for that one and pokes it into the camera well past the Reds dugout. I think everybody's okay down there. Looked like there was some moving body parts.
But no rain, so they're okay.
A lot of sun though. Not an easy day for the cameraman. Big bouncer towards Suarez. And Billy Burns is retired. So 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Yeah, now Coco Crisp. Leadoff man, Coco, is 0 for 3 today. And he bounces this one past the mound. Phillips to his right makes the play.
Well, we have had a chance in 3 games to watch one of the smoothest second basemen. No panic from Brandon Phillips, former Cleveland Indian, down south of Cincinnati, but he's played well. The magician around the bag at second.
Yeah, he's been a good player for a long time. Here's Lowry, who's 1 for 3. Lowry had a base hit in the first inning. He lined out in the second and hit a fly ball to center field in the 5th. One for 10 in the series over this weekend. It's good to have Lowry back in the lineup. Came back from the disabled list on the 25th of May, and he's been in the starting lineup every game since then. Toward the gap in right center, and that'll be a hit. Bruce cannot cut it off. Holt does. Holt fires back to second base, and the tag, and they got it. So Tyler Holt alertly backing it up, and he ends up throwing out Lowry at second base. Lowry trying to stretch it into a double. So that's how the top of the 7th ends. And we have reached the 7th inning stretch here in Cincinnati with the A's leading 4-1. And we're going to keep it right here at the ballpark. Listen to God Bless America. It's being performed by U.S. Navy musician 2nd class Laura Carey.
Women of our armed forces, as well as those who serve to protect in our local police and fire departments. At this time, please help us honor these brave men and women and all our veterans of service, and welcome musician 2nd class Laura Carey as she leads us in the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless
ATCSN California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
Bottom of the 7th inning, the A's 4, the Reds 1. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So John Axford comes in. So he will have the 7th inning. He'll face Cabrera leading things off. Tyler Holt to follow, and then the top of the order, Zach Kozar. So a good 2 innings for Fernando Rodriguez. In fact, he got a couple of double play balls. So now it's Axford. The first pitch is low to Ramon Cabrera, who has a double and a single. His double knocked in a run in the 2nd inning.
Well, the A's have the bullpen lined up the way they wanted. Fernando, a good job for the 2. Axford, and let's see if Doolittle Matson would also be line to pitch 8th and 9th. We'll see, but right now it's exactly what the A's had hoped at the beginning of the season. This part of the bullpen to be well rested and be able to come in and do the job. Bob Melvin would like to finish it that way.
Axford was in the game yesterday through just 1 inning. Some pitching well as of late. Swing and a miss. 96 miles an hour.
Nailed the outside corner and a swing, but looked like a pretty good pitch also. Thanks for the mid to upper 90s fastball, 12-6 curveball, and he can throw right over the top, makes it difficult to hit.
Pop up on the infield left side, and Valencia makes the catch.
If we were talking about the home plate umpire, Manny Gonzalez, who drew the short straw for today, but he also showed some intelligence. The bottom of the 7th, they were singing God Bless America. He was walking over towards the Reds dugout, and the ball boy came out with a handful of baseballs. He said, "Go back in the dugout. I'm coming down there to get some shade while they sing God Bless America." So he got a little bit of a reprieve. The other umpire stayed out on the field, but give him a lot of credit. Tell the ball boy, "I'll come and get the baseballs. You go back in the dugout."
Alonso handles a tricky hop. So Holt is retired on 1 pitch, and that's 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
Well, Yonder Alonso has got to be very happy that the gentleman that he looked up to so long is in the opposite dugout, and that is Joey Votto. And he talked about how it was Votto who he learned from first base to take as many ground balls to first base as he could. And of course, he has played the first 2, and Votto due up next. But Yonder Alonso has done an exceptional job for the A's defensively at first base and added some big hits.
And we just added a pretty good inning for John Axford. 3 up, 3 down. So the Reds go quietly in the 7th, and we're headed to the 8th. here in Cincinnati is Johnny Bench. And why not? He's a Hall of Famer. One of the game's greatest catchers, really, of all time.
Out of Oklahoma, and Roberto Clemente, of course, ball in front of the plate. Johnny Bench handled it. He could throw as well as anybody. Quick release, strong arm, accurate throwing catcher. And not only that, he could hit 40 home runs a year for you. But his defense was off the charts. Gold Glover many times. And really rated probably as the all-time best catcher all around in Major League Baseball history. Absolutely.
He's got a statue outside. A popular jersey for the fan, Johnny Bench. It's a good baseball name.
That's right.
He was not sitting on the bench, though.
No,
he was in the same draft as you, right?
Yeah.
1965.
Yes, he was.
Much later than Ray Fosse, though. Of course, most everybody was.
I talked to Gene Lamont, who is bench coach for Brad Ausmus's Detroit. He's managing that Friday night. I said, "What do you think, Gene?" He said, "That's a long time ago, and there have been a lot of things happen since you and I were drafted ahead of Johnny Bench." Gino's a good man. Been in baseball his whole life.
It's a foul ball toward third. Johnny Bench is known for a lot of things, but how many is that?
That's six, actually. Six, yeah.
6 baseballs in his hand. Try doing that at home. Just go get 6 baseballs. Try it.
389 home runs. And you said it right. He finished at third base. They wanted to try to keep his bat in the lineup. But same with Buster Posey. I give him a lot of credit. And it's an outstanding hitter, as this hit. It's also
that
pretty
should
good.
go, and it will. That baby's gone. A long home run for Valencia. A little added insurance. 5-1 A's lead. So Valencia gets home run number 10.
Hit a breaking ball off Colin McHugh last weekend in Houston to start the road trip, and it's a hanging slider just down and in a little bit, and he didn't miss this one. So all of a sudden, 2 home runs for the A's, making 3 home runs today. None of them cheap. Line drive by Marcus Semien to start it. Smolinski to straightaway center, and this a 2-strike breaking ball left field.
So the A's with 3 home runs today.
Watching Danny Valencia run the bases and talking to Joey Votto on Friday night. And he said something, Cap, I've never heard in my life. He got hit by Wainwright. He said, I deserved it.
I've never heard that.
I've never heard it. That's what I'm saying. And he said, basically, he said, I deserved it because when I hit a home run off Wainwright, I took a little bit too long going around the bases and did a little bit of, some things that, players do often anyway. But evidently Adam Wainwright didn't like it.
Adam Wainwright's the kind of guy that, he will let you know.
But he said he hit me the right way, down the lower part. He didn't throw at my head. I mean, he's got a good enough control. But, I mean, it's a hot day, and so you're going to see those things happen. But for him to say that, I'm going, because I saw the game Thursday night when he got hit, and he just dropped the bat, and it was Wainwright. And he said, I deserved it. I said, man, I've never heard that in my life.
Nope.
Never seen that play that Joe West called the other night either with Victor Martinez. But, things happen, but it's good to hear things like that as this breaking ball split in the dirt from the right-hander. He gets a strikeout. But, what it basically means, Joey Votto appreciates the game, and he's going to play the game the right way. And when he hits a home run off Adam Wainwright, he will not do anything spectacular except get around the bases as quickly as possible because you know what might be coming.
But we've seen Joey Votto for a long time. He is not the kind of guy that's going to do a whole lot.
No.
I can't imagine he did a whole lot of it.
Well, it was just enough that he knew. I mean, for him to say immediately, I deserved it. I'm saying, wow, that is something special. So that stood out, and it probably will always stand out because you just don't hear that in today's world. Because anytime really pitches inside, guys get angry. It's almost like you can't throw inside because I can't hit at number 1. But then if you get hit on top of it, so put him at the top of the list because that's pretty special.
Sean Doolittle starts to throw in the A's bullpen.
And it looks like Votto's going to get to face him again as he did Friday night.
Alonso taps it foul at the plate. Now, you were talking about Yonder Alonso and what he learned from Joey Votto. You remember, Yonder Alonso was a first-round draft pick of the Cincinnati Reds.
That's right.
That happened in 2008. In fact, Alonso was the 7th player taken in that entire draft by the Reds. And then he went to the Padres in the Matt Latos trade.
And that's where he learned it. And that's why he gives Votto a lot of credit, because he kind of took him under his wing and helped him, and he immediately said Joey Votto. So I mean, that was talking to him early part of the season. So you could just see how things like that have happened to help guys, and Votto's willing to help his teammates, but now an opposing member of the team.
Alonso got to the big leagues in 2010 with the Reds.
This is Manny Gonzalez asking for some baseballs to get a little bit extra time for the catcher. He just took one off his body. It's Cabrera, the catcher, who has a couple of hits today, but he just got a foul ball.
So a full count to Alonso, who was a pinch runner for Butler in the 6th, stayed in the game for defense. And he's got a base hit to right field.
That 5 spot in the batting order, 4 hits today.
And here's Marcus Semien.
Hanging breaking ball, that's one that's gotten this pitcher in trouble. Morris did it to Valencia for a home run.
So 11 hits now for the Athletics. And here's Marcus Semien. Semien has one of the 3 A's home runs, a 2-run shot in the 2nd inning. Backhand blocked by Cabrera. The Rays are leading the Astros 5-0. That's the rubber game of that series, being played down in St. Petersburg. Rangers and the Mariners will get underway in just a little bit. And so the Indians and the Angels. Toronto Blue Jays trying to sweep the Orioles today, and they're winning 10-6 in the 7th inning. Is Toronto making that move?
That's right.
Seems like it. There's a shot headed for the left field corner. It's cut off on the backhand by Duvall. Gets it in quickly, and it's a base hit for Marcus Semien. 12 hits now for the A's. And Fegley will hit.
Marcus pulled his hands in again, as he did the home run in the 1st inning or 2nd inning. We could go yesterday. The A's with 12 hits at Houston. 11 hits against the Twins to start the month of June. This is the 3rd time this month now with double figures in hits, and maybe this will be a start for that long homestand coming up starting tomorrow night against the Rangers.
Mark Riggins out again. Probably the last thing Manny Gonzalez wants to do is to walk all the way out to the mound, but it's part of his responsibility,
especially with the clock.
Yeah.
Commissioner Manfred said, "You're on the clock."
Yeah.
He said that a lot on Thursday night. Then
games are longer this year. He's not happy about it.
Somebody probably said about the first rounds of the draft took over 3 hours. Maybe pace of game was a little bit slow.
Fegley fouls it back to the screen. Fegley's got a single, a walk, and a fly ball to right field. He has scored a run. So the A's offense coming to life a little bit today. with the 5 runs and 12 hits. 16 hits total in the first 2 games in this series. Seems like the first 2 games in this series, even though they lost them both and there was not a lot of offense, they were different than the 2 games in Milwaukee. The 2 games in Milwaukee, there just was not a lot of base runners for the A's. In this series, the first 2 games where the A's only scored 2 runs, but they had some opportunities. Today, they're hitting the long ball, which always makes all the difference in the world. Tegley drives it to center. Holt going back. Still going back. He's got it. Alonso will alertly tag up, and he'll go to third.
Well, Alonso having to stop at second base. That was the importance of Duvall on Simeon's ball. He cut the ball off down in the corner. If Alonso could have gotten to third, and that's a sac fly for Fegley. As a matter of fact, back-to-back fly balls. That with a little execution or maybe a different type of play would have had a couple of runs driven in instead of just long fly ball outs.
So that'll bring up Smolinski. Smolinski with one of those 3 home runs, a 2-run shot in the second. He rolls this one foul past Ron Washington. Red Sox are trying to sweep the Twins today. Right now the Twins are winning 2-1 in the 6th inning. The Red Sox getting ready for a big series starting tomorrow against the Orioles. The Orioles and the Red Sox are currently tied for first place in the AL East, and they will play a 3-game series starting tomorrow night at Fenway. So that should be interesting. Royals leading the White Sox 2-0. No, the Royals were struggling, so they had an 8-game losing streak. Then they won yesterday, but they're still only 3 games out.
That's amazing.
So they're, from a where you are in the standing standpoint, they're fine.
Well, the White Sox helped them with their
Yes,
demise.
they did. That's exactly
as
right.
much as they have.
A little bit low, 2-1. Indians hanging on to first place in the AL Central.
Yeah, they always talk about you don't want a team to run away in the division. The White Sox had a chance.
Yeah, they were smoking hot early, but now it's a different story.
Exactly. League caught up to them. Everybody kind of even now in the Central, the way the people thought it was going to be like for this 2016 season.
Runner goes, bounced. Suarez waits. Quickly to first in time. Side retired. Danny Valencia with a home run. It was his 10th of the year. So as we go to the bottom of the 8th from Cincinnati, the A's now lead it 5-1. We'll be back.
broadcast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 5-12-0 for the A's. For the Reds, 1-7-0. The A's scored 4 in the second on a pair of 2-run homers. Simeon and Smolinski. Valencia added a solo shot in the top of this inning. And so the A's back to their bullpen, and now it's Sean Doolittle. Axford with a good inning. So far, so good for the A's bullpen. 3 shutout innings, in fact, 3 hitless innings.
A rematch of Friday night. This lefty on lefty. See if he spreads out a little bit more now with a couple of strikes. Doolittle throwing hard. A couple of hits for Votto and a strikeout.
Spreads out, chokes up even more. So kind of a fun matchup.
It's fun because Sean Doolittle could say, I could throw a slider maybe and strike him out, but I'd rather just rear back and throw hard and try to do it that way, especially with a good fastball he has now.
97 miles an hour, and it's 2-2. Phillips to follow, and then Jay Bruce. So heart of the order for the Reds here in the 8th. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Came right at him, 96 miles an hour. So Votto strikes out for the second time.
And he kept the ball down low, which normally he goes upstairs, but Votto handled it the other night. So this time stayed down towards the outside part of the plate. Did not hold anything back.
So 1 out. Here's Brandon Phillips. Brandon Phillips will not get cheated either. Phillips is 1 for 3 in today's game. 2 for 10 in the series for the veteran second baseman.
Josh Phegley taking one off his mask, his body someplace, and when you have a pitcher throwing 97 and the hitter makes contact, I got him on the right hand, and he was kind of protected behind the glove, the catcher's mitt.
Foul back on a fastball.
Okay, but I think this is so impressive in a sense that here's Sean Doolittle. He's basically, everybody in the world knows what he throws. He challenges hitters. He struck out one of the best in the National League, Joey Votto, with fastballs. Gone right after Phillips with fastballs, and more likely it's going to stay that way. It's just a here it comes, try to hit it. And sure, he's going to get hit sometimes, but it just shows the importance of the #1 pitch, the fastball, that contention has always been that you're not guaranteed to have a fastball hit if you throw it and throw it hard.
Fastball, a little better pitch to hit for Phillips. But good velocity today for Doolittle. He's lately been 94, 95. Today he's 96, 97. Maybe it's the hot weather.
That's right. That's the temperature.
Doolittle pitched in game 1 of this series. This one tapped slowly up the first base line. Doolittle picks it up, underhands to first, and that's out number 2.
Well, A's fans, make your 2016 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot green and gold at athletics.com on your computer, tablet, or your smartphone. How times have changed. Select A's like Dana Valencia, Chris Davis, Josh Reddick. There's a whole bunch you could choose. Vote up to 35 times. Vote today. Vote tomorrow. Vote at athletics.com/vote. And we don't want to disappoint any players, guys. We don't have enough room to mention the whole 25-man roster. So we don't throw 3 or 4 out there. Don't let anybody come at us. Oh, you don't mention us. We'll mention everybody. Every player can vote.
Well, I think if anybody did come at us, we could just say do you think you're having an all-star season? And if they say yes, they say, okay, then we'll mention your name.
That's right.
But we'll be the final judge to whether you're having an all-star season or not.
Since we have the microphone there.
I don't think there's an A's player out there that would do that to us.
No.
All-star game in San Diego. It's just a month away.
It's approaching quickly. You're right.
JC Ramirez warming up. Well, it will be interesting, though, as far as possibilities for the A's. Obviously, Rich Hill, but Rich Hill right now is on the disabled list. He will be back sometime soon. I think he's the one that comes to mind immediately.
Did I read that he's been shut down for a week to not throw at all?
Not throw off the mound.
Off the mound
so he
for
can play catch.
Yeah, right, but as far as the mound.
As far as the mound.
Of course, it's his left groin area, which is the push-off leg for him.
To pitch, no chance. Bruce chases the high fastball. Very nice inning for Doolittle. And we are going to the ninth. 5-1. A's lead.
June the 17th, join us for baseball movie fireworks presented by Ray Morgan Company. After the game against the Angels, our famous fireworks show will be set to music from classic baseball movies, including The Natural, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, and many, many more. There's a whole bunch of them. There's no better way to kick off summer than A's baseball and fireworks. So visit athletics.com/fireworks today. Next Friday, and you know fireworks at the Coliseum are the best. You get a chance to get out on the field, watch beautiful fireworks, and there's always a theme. My partner's birthday, the last was the theme of that one. And then this one, but they added grease to that night also, I guess.
Well, you know, it's got groove, it's got meaning. Here's JC Ramirez making his 21st appearance, and he's going to face the pinch hitter Max Muncy. Muncy, Crispin, Lowry. A's leading 5-1.
What a performance by Sean Doolittle. Impressive.
Muncy on the ground, and he is retired. And bullpen's been terrific today. Kendall Graveman went 4+ innings, but Graveman in his last inning, which was the 4th inning, I shouldn't say his last, he did go out there for the 5th, but we don't know exactly what was wrong, but he just did not look good.
Yeah.
He was struggling. Could have been the heat.
Was in a matter of the top of the inning when he bunted, sprinted to first, and then covered first in the bottom of the first of the inning. the 4th inning, which was the difficult one.
But he went back out there for the 5th, gave up a leadoff single, and Bob Melvin went to get him.
And correct me if I'm wrong, usually if the starter doesn't go the required distance, then it's a discretion of the official score as to who gets the victory. But do they factor in the heat? And the reason Kendall came out was because of the heat. I don't think there's any other reason for him to exit the game. He had a 4-1 lead, but I don't know if that's even going to be factored into the decision by the official score. But the bullpen's done an excellent job. And Coco Crisp gets his first hit of the day with a solid base hit up the middle. So the A's trying to add on. They got it with Valencia's home run last inning. 4th spot, which was huge in the 2nd inning.
So A's now have 13 hits, and here's Lowry. Lowry's 2 for 4. Lowry's got a couple hits. Valencia home run. Butler was 3 for 3. Simeon's got a couple hits and a home run. Smolinski with a home run. It's a good day for the A's offense, and it's an offense that was struggling on this trip, but much better today. Lowry a single in the 1st and a single in the 7th. He belts one to center, shallow. Holt coming in, and Holt is not going to get it. And Holt did not play that one very well. So Lowry, I think Lowry thought it was a fly ball to center field, but Holt, see if he broke back, and I think he did. See, Lowry's thinking, F8.
Instead, 1B, 8. Yeah, he was upset.
Life's tough when you're a ball player, you know.
3-hit day for him on this hot afternoon.
So here's Valencia, homered in the 8th. That home run, his 10th of the year. He takes a first pitch strike. And there's Ryan Madsen.
He's had a long trip in activity. You lose 7 games on a road trip, and your closer was only getting work to get him some work. I mean, that's not good. And even today, it's not a safe situation, but Bob Melvin looks at it as a safe situation, trying to get a win on this trip. Worst thing you could have is a road trip winless. I mean, that's terrible. So he will pull out all stops and
lined
try to
right
get it done.
Side.
Well, last inning, this is what Danny Valencia did. A solo home run, as we mentioned, he hit one last Saturday. And comes back this afternoon. It's a hanging breaking ball from column Q.
0-2 pitch, foul tip. In and out of the glove of the catcher Cabrera.
Away from him reaching for the ball, and nothing there except a foul tip.
And a high fastball, and Valencia could not catch up to it. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th.
Well, slider away, barely ticked it, and then fastball elevated.
So that'll bring up Chris Davis for his 5th at bat. Davis is 1 for 4. A single, a couple of strikes out, and he hit into a double play. 96 miles an hour from J.C. Ramirez. Well, the crowd this afternoon, 24,880, but a good share of them have headed home.
or found it cooler weather.
And the other share went to the shade.
Yeah.
That's the sunny side of the ballpark, and people are, if you're sitting out there, you're hanging in there.
And I give those people credit because they waited until the bottom of the 8th was over before it had a mass exodus, at least from the lower part of the stands. Figure they paid good money for those seats. They're going to stay there as long as possible.
Base hit center field. Here comes Coco Crisp. Holt's throw to the plate is high over everybody but Ramirez backing up, but it's an RBI single for Chris Davis to make it 6-1 A's.
Second hit today for Chris Davis, back up the middle, and Holt charged the ball, did a good job charging, but it handcuffed him a little bit and then overthrew as he tried to throw it a little bit too hard on the line, but Ramirez doing a good job backing up. Like that smoothness of catching the ball and at the same time throwing, but Chris Davis a good job not trying to pull it. He's hit 14 home runs, but once the ball was overthrown, you could see at the top of your screen with Jed Lowry going to third base. He was going to stop at second if the throw had been down lower, but instead straight away was the ball and he held up.
Alonso is going to be retired, and the A's get a run on 3 hits in the 9th inning, so 6 runs on 15 hits today for the Athletics.
Chance to see the only 2 A's versus Giants games of 2016 at the Coliseum, the Oakland Coliseum, when the Cross Bay rivals square off on June 29th and 30th. A's look to continue their winning ways against the Giants, having captured 2 of the last 3 season series. These interleague showdowns are always some of the most popular games of the year, so get your tickets right now today at athletics.com/tickets.
Hey, Know It All with Sportsnet Central, brought to you by Hyundai. It's tonight at 10:30 on CSN Bay Area. All the highlights from this A's-Reds game. Game 6 for the Sharks and Game 5 for the Warriors. Of course, the Sharks need to win. The Warriors will play tomorrow night in Game 5. Kelly Johnson, Henry Wolford will host, and we just found out that Draymond Green has been suspended for Game 5. Yeah, so Draymond Green.
It's an accident.
Yeah, sure it was. It's always an accident.
Why would they suspend him for, say, a few games next season?
No.
They don't do that there, huh?
So no Draymond Green tomorrow night as the Warriors try to wrap up the NBA title. It's exciting. So 1-1 the count.
Was it LeBron James the last to win back-to-back MVPs and back-to-back world championships?
I don't know that for sure. I would say
he's one of them. He's one of them. I know there are a few, but very few. Yeah. And of course, Steph Curry trying to be one of those. But maybe that's why he and LeBron were having a little face-to-face.
You know what? You play the same team.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Game after game after game. Well, it's easy to see where you get a little edgy.
That's true.
And a swing and a miss by Adam Duvall. So Ryan Madson comes in, and right now the A's bullpen has been terrific in this game.
Well, it's been outstanding. It started with really, Fernando coming in 2 perfect innings. Axford was outstanding. Very few pitches. Sean Doolittle struck out a couple. Ryan Madson well rested. Just blew away Duvall. A couple of strikeouts for the very tough right-handed hitter playing left field for the Reds.
Here's Suarez, who takes a pitch a little bit outside. Suarez has been on base a couple times. Does not have a hit, but he has walked and was hit by a pitch. A's post-game live coming up after the ball game. We're hoping to finally give the folks back in the studio a win to talk about.
You know, Adam
Makes everything a little easier.
Adam Loberstein's been on this trip the whole trip, and he has yet to have to go downstairs.
Yeah, we're going to make Adam work.
It's been very long, so we'll keep him, hopefully get him busy today. Ryan Madson, what a great pitch he's able to throw. Man, that ball just bottom dropped out of it.
Threw it again, and that one down and away, and Suarez chased it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Madson here in the ninth.
For the last 5 strikeout victims by Sean Doolittle and now Ryan Madson.
So this is Ivan De Jesus Jr. pinch hitting. This is the pitcher spot. His father, a longtime big leaguer with the Cubs and the Phillies. Madson kicks and deals in the first pitch. De Jesus fouls it off his foot. Remember the A's and the Rangers tomorrow night at the Coliseum, first of a 4-game series. Sean Manaea is going to pitch for the Athletics. We do not know who's going to pitch for the Texas Rangers. So it should be a good series. Remember, the Rangers came to the Coliseum in May, and the A's swept them. So the Rangers probably have not forgotten that, although, quite frankly, they probably have forgotten that. But
considering where they are,
trying to get you fired up for the series.
Considering where they are in the standings, they forgot about it. But A's can look forward to that and try to continue the success. And even more so if they can hang on a win today and head back home on a positive note. And try to continue to play well at home, which they did the last homestand, winning 5 of the 6 they played.
One-two pitch. Fastball is high, 97 miles an hour from Ryan Madson. Madson last pitched last Saturday in Houston, so it's been over a week since he pitched.
And he didn't throw a lot of pitches because the Astros, within 3 batters, had to walk off.
Fouled at the plate.
You know, Ryan Madson perhaps learned something from that game, because with his outstanding changeup, and you know, we always say, and I've talked to players where they say that it's hard to sit on something off speed when you get a fastball, but in the case of Ryan Madson, I think hitters will take a chance, and I think that's what happened last weekend with the Astros. And you know, for them to hit fastballs the opposite field, looked like they were sitting soft. The changeup from him. Ryan Madson knows with an outstanding fastball and changeup, does throw a cutter. And it's kind of a 50-50 for hitters to sit one way or the other.
It's almost a little bit like Tyler Clippard.
Yeah,
Clippard,
exactly.
it was, he had the good kind of changeup that he threw. Two pitch is line foul.
Good changeup pitchers can throw a changeup off a changeup.
Sure.
That's,
oh yeah.
You know, that's something that's special. But for Ryan Madson, it's basically his delivery. Fastball and changeup look exactly the same.
So another 2-2 pitch, and it's low. Good take by Ivan De Jesus. So a full count. And here it is, and it's bounced to second. This should do it. Lowry's got it on to first, and that's the ball game. So the A's, a tough road trip comes to an end with a win, and that is the good news. So the A's will jump on the charter, head home with the W. 2 hours and 50 minutes in front of 24,880. A's win it 6-1. You've been watching A's Baseball on CSN California, part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's Post Game Live with Mindy and Carney starts right now.